after really a couple decades of workers and unions being on the defensive and having to sort of settle for minimal contracts, we've seen the labor movement on the offensive in the last couple of years. And I think this is an extension of that trend. Paul Clark, professor of labor and employment relations at Penn State University. It's a real signal that these Boeing workers feel that they are underpaid. They talk about the skill required to make these advanced jet fighters and the contribution they make to the defense of our country. Yet, over the past 10 or 20 years, the Boeing workers, they argue, that they've sort of minimized their demands on the company because it was in financial trouble, and they wanted to make sure the company could continue to operate and provide this service they provide. And now they've said that it's time for us to make up those lost gains. That's a real impasse because the company has already increased their proposal, their contract proposals twice. They've made them a little bit better each time. The Boeing workers are saying that's not enough, and you're going to have to sweeten the deal a little more if we're going to accept it. So you've really got to a point now where both sides are pretty locked in, and it's going to be hard to make progress from this point. I mean, the last thing Boeing wants is more bad news in the press. But I think you have a situation here that reflects a larger trend in the last couple of years in terms of labor relations, because a number of factors: very low unemployment, so there's not a lot of excess workers out there to be hired; inflation that has eaten away at the wages that workers currently make. We've seen through polling a growing support for unions and workers in this country after COVID. And so in the last couple of years, we've seen unions drive really hard bargains. If workers go out on strike in a situation like this, they're prepared for it. They know it's been coming. There'll be strike benefits from the union to help mitigate the cost of the strike. And in virtually all of these situations, there has to be some improvement in the contract for the union to even take it back to the workers to ask for a vote. They're not going to take the old contract they turned down and ask their members to vote again. They're going to have to see some changes, and probably something pretty meaningful, not just changes on the margin. Boeing says this is a great contract. It's one of the best contracts we ever offered. We just can't give any more. So, that sets up the potential for a sort of lengthy strike. We'll have to see. But if that strike's not settled in the next couple of days, my fear is that it could end up really being a deadlock that goes on for some time. There is a law that I think applies here where the president can issue a back-to-work injunction. It's called a Taft-Hartley injunction, where the workers would have to go back to work for 60 days. It's called a 60-day cooling off period. Such a step would really work in Boeing's favor because the workers have got the company in a position now where they've closed down, they're not able to move forward in placing their orders. Putting them back to work would allow the company to regain momentum and get some of those orders filled, and it would take the wind out of the sails of the union.